Welcome back, dear literature enthusiasts, to our cozy corner at Frame Shift, where film isn't just entertainment but a rich text to be unraveled and cherished. If you find joy in peeling back layers of narrative, metaphor, and symbolism, if the flicker of a scene or the cadence of dialogue calls you to deeper reflection, then you're among friends here. Before we journey further, I invite you to like and subscribe, not for the sake of numbers, but to grow this shared space where stories breathe and ideas flourish. And just a gentle note. What we explore today isn't a conventional review, but a profoundly intellectual, theoretical analysis designed for those whose hearts beat in rhythm with literary insight and cinematic artistry. I remember the first time I saw this film. It wasn't in the typical theater setting, but during a quiet, late-night screening with a small group of friends who shared my love for puzzles and philosophical undertones. The experience felt less like watching a movie, and more like entering a dreamscape stitched with delicate threads of memory, grief, and the architecture of the mind itself. From the opening sequence, where rain patters on the windshield and shadows move with a restless energy, I was drawn into a world both strikingly real and eerily malleable, one that challenged the very foundations of perception. This film is a labyrinth of ideas wrapped in the guise of a heist thriller, but its true currency lies in its exploration of consciousness, time, and the ways we shape reality through thought. It speaks to anyone who has ever wondered about the stories we tell ourselves in the dark, the dreams that linger like half-remembered poems, and the fragile boundaries that separate waking life from fantasy. It's a meditation on loss and redemption, on the human need to find meaning and closure within the mind's vast, uncharted territories. At its heart, the narrative follows a man burdened by past wounds, a dream thief who invades the subconscious to extract secrets, but now faces the monumental challenge of planting an idea, an inception. This mission is no simple theft, but a delicate construction of nested realities, each layer folding into the next like a fractal puzzle. The film masterfully navigates these dreamscapes, blending breathtaking action with moments of tender vulnerability, where characters grapple not only with external threats but with their inner demons. The story's unfolding is a dance through time and space, cities folding onto themselves, gravity losing its grip, and memories bleeding into present moments. Each dream level is crafted with meticulous detail, a world unto itself governed by its own logic and emotional stakes. As we accompany the protagonists deeper into these subconscious realms, the stakes multiply, not only in the risk of mission failure, but in the fragile tether to reality that loosens with every blink. What captivates me most is the film's refusal to offer easy answers. Its ending, lingering on the spin of a top, poised between fall and endless rotation, mirrors life's persistent uncertainties. It's a prompt to question the nature of reality, the reliability of our senses, and the stories that anchor us in place. The narrative invites multiple interpretations, much like a well-wrought novel whose meaning shifts with each rereading. It reminds me of those moments in literature where the line between narrator and character blurs, and the reader is left suspended in a space of possibility and wonder. As we prepare to delve deeper into the intricate layers of plot, character, and thematic resonance, I encourage you to lean into that uncertainty with me. Let's explore how this film constructs its dream logic, how it entwines spectacle with psychology, and how its motifs ripple through our understanding of memory, guilt, and hope. Together, we'll unpack the symbolism encoded in the folding city streets, the significance of the spinning top, and the emotional currents beneath the high-concept thriller. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If you felt the pull of dreams and the weight of unspoken truths, this analysis will feel like a shared conversation between old friends who cherish the mysteries woven into film's fabric. So settle in and let's step into this dream together, one blink, one layer at a time. The city's skyline stretched endlessly beneath a somber dusk, skyscrapers folding over themselves in impossible geometry, their edges bending and overlapping like pages in a book rewritten mid-read. It was here, amid this surreal urban labyrinth, that Dom Cobb awoke, eyes glazed but alert, as if caught between worlds. From the very beginning, the film invites us to step into a realm where reality is a shifting construct, fragile and malleable, where the rules are rewritten with every breath. Cobb's journey unfolds not merely as a heist, but as an odyssey through the layered dreamscapes of the human mind, and as he navigates these worlds, we too become caught in a web of memory, guilt, and desire. The narrative opens with Cobb and his partner Arthur engaged in a meticulously choreographed extraction, a high-stakes mission to infiltrate a businessman's subconscious and pilfer a guarded secret. This sequence, with its tension and fluid choreography, serves as a masterclass in blending action with conceptual depth. We witness gravity losing its grip as the dream's physics bend, the floor shifting beneath them like sand, and the cityscape folding skyward in a spectacle that defies Euclidean geometry. It's a dance on the knife's edge between illusion and reality, and through it, the film establishes the rules of its dream logic. The mind is a place of infinite possibility, yet every detail is weighted with meaning. Cobb's team, a diverse and skilled group, is assembled with precision, each member bringing unique expertise essential to navigating the complex terrain of shared dreaming. Ariadne, the young architect, becomes our guide into these layered constructions, her wide-eyed curiosity mirroring our own. She learns to craft dream worlds with both structural coherence and imaginative freedom, her designs folding in on themselves like origami, Assyrian staircases and looping streets that trap both dreamers and their targets in intricate puzzles. Through her eyes, we grasp the immense power and peril of these mental landscapes, where the line between creator and prisoner blurs. As the team prepares for the central mission, not to steal an idea but to implant one, the stakes intensify. The target is Robert Fisher, heir to a business empire whose subconscious fortress is notoriously impenetrable. The goal, Inception, the act of planting a seed of thought so deeply that it takes root and grows organically, steering decisions in waking life. This premise elevates the narrative from a simple heist to a profound meditation on influence, autonomy, and the nature of belief. Parallel to this high-concept mission is Cobb's personal struggle, a haunting undercurrent that gives the film its emotional resonance. His memories of Mal, his late wife, intrude relentlessly into the dreamscapes, manifesting as projections that threaten to unravel the carefully constructed layers. These manifestations are both poignant and terrifying, embodying Cobb's guilt and unresolved grief. Their presence reminds us that the mind is not merely a tool but a terrain shaped by emotion and trauma, where past and present collide in unpredictable ways. The first half of the film skillfully balances exposition with action, introducing audiences to the mechanics of dream sharing without sacrificing narrative momentum. Scenes of training and rehearsal, Cobb teaching Ariadne the intricacies of dream architecture, the team practicing synchronized sedatives, build a sense of immersion and plausibility. The notion that multiple dreamers can inhabit and manipulate shared dream spaces becomes both a narrative device and a metaphor for collaborative storytelling itself. Key events include the team's descent into the first dream layer, a rainy cityscape where time is elastic and the law of gravity negotiable. Here, the action escalates as they encounter projections of Fisher's subconscious defenses, shadowy agents intent on expelling intruders. The battle sequences, choreographed with balletic precision, blur the boundaries between fight and flight, dream and reality. Meanwhile, the ticking of a watch and the fall of a spinning top serve as temporal anchors, reminders of the fragile tether to waking life. Interwoven are quieter, more intimate moments, Cobb's confessions to Ariadne, revealing the weight of his guilt and the nature of his bond with Mal. These scenes provide vital emotional context, transforming Cobb from a detached operator into a deeply wounded man seeking redemption. The contrast between the sprawling dreamscapes and these intimate exchanges underscores the film's layered storytelling. As the narrative unfolds, the concept of nested dreams, dreams within dreams, takes center stage, amplifying the tension and complexity. Each layer operates on a different temporal scale. Minutes in one translate to hours or days in another. This elasticity creates a vertiginous sense of temporal dislocation, compelling viewers to engage actively with the narrative's intricate architecture. The film's editing mirrors this complexity, weaving together parallel threads with rhythmic precision that evokes both the chaos and order of the subconscious. Throughout these sequences, the film maintains an undercurrent of philosophical inquiry. It probes questions about the nature of reality, the reliability of memory, and the ethics of manipulating the mind. Cobb's own uncertainty about the boundaries between dream and waking life invites us to reflect on the malleability of perception and the stories we tell ourselves. His spinning top, a totem to discern reality, spins ambiguously at the film's opening and closing, a symbol of perpetual uncertainty that resists easy resolution. By the midpoint, the stakes have crystallized. The mission is underway, the dream layers descending, and the psychological pressures mounting. The team's synchronized sedation introduces the threat of kicks, external stimuli designed to awaken dreamers, but complicated by the multiple layers of sleep. Failure at any level risks permanent entrapment in limbo, a nightmarish void of lost time and fractured selves. This looming danger infuses every moment with urgency and dread. The first half culminates in a breathtaking sequence where the team navigates shifting dreamscapes, from rain-slicked streets to snowbound fortresses, each environment meticulously crafted to reflect Fisher's psyche and the team's collective anxieties. Here, the film's visual effects and production design come into full bloom, creating immersive worlds that feel both tangible and fantastical. The Snow Fortress, inspired by samurai castles, becomes a battleground of wills, and Cobb's leadership is tested amid physical danger and emotional turmoil. Throughout, the narrative weaves a tapestry of motifs, mirrors reflecting fractured identities, staircases spiraling into infinity, and music layered with slowed tempos to mimic temporal dilation. These elements coalesce to create a cinematic language that communicates as much through imagery and rhythm as through dialogue. The viewer is invited not just to watch, but to inhabit the dream, to feel the disorientation, tension, and fleeting clarity that characterize Cobb's quest. As we traverse these opening chapters, it becomes clear that this film is as much a meditation on storytelling as it is a thriller. The act of inception mirrors the creative process itself, the planting of ideas, the construction of immersive worlds, and the risk of losing oneself in the act of creation. Cobb's journey is in many ways an allegory for the artist's struggle to reconcile past failures and forge new realities through imagination and will. This unfolding odyssey is rich with emotional nuance and intellectual challenge, a tapestry woven from threads of suspense, philosophy, and human yearning. The first half lays the foundation for an escalating descent into the mind's labyrinth, inviting us to question the very fabric of reality and the power of dreams to shape our waking lives. The layers of the dreamscape deepen, folding inward like the petals of a dark, unfolding flower, and Dom Cobb finds himself sinking further into the labyrinth of his own mind, even as the mission presses forward with relentless urgency. The second half of the story unfolds as a tense spiral, where the stakes rise not just in the physical realm, but within the fragile architecture of memory, desire, and guilt. As the team descends into the snowbound fortress, an austere and imposing dream space designed to reflect Robert Fisher's guarded psyche, the tension thickens. Here, time dilates further. Minutes above translate into hours below, and every second carries the weight of multiple realities colliding. The fortress itself is a battleground, its stoic walls echoing with the clash of wills as Cobb and his allies wage their mental and physical war against Fisher's subconscious defenses. Armed projections emerge like ghosts, shadowy warriors bent on protecting the secrets Fisher's mind has locked away. The team's cohesion is tested amid the chaos of collapsing walls and shattering glass, a visceral reminder that even within dreams, the psyche's fortress can be impenetrable. Cobb's own demons begin to assert a more aggressive presence. Mal's apparition grows more persistent and unpredictable, embodying the unresolved grief and guilt that have haunted him since her death. She confronts him with icy accusations and seductive enticements, a spectral reminder that Cobb's internal struggles are as dangerous as any external threat. This psychological conflict crescendos as Cobb teeters on the brink of succumbing to his memories, risking not only the mission, but his own grasp on reality. The film's layered narrative blurs the line between what is dream and what is truth, creating a tension that vibrates beneath every frame. Meanwhile, the other members of the team navigate their own challenges within the nested dream levels. Arthur leads a daring assault in a bustling urban dreamscape, where gravity itself betrays them, flipping streets and buildings into vertiginous mazes. The kinetic energy of these sequences, punctuated by precise choreography and visual effects, underscores the instability of their mission. Ariadne, newly minted architect and moral compass, must confront Cobb's deteriorating state and the threat that his unresolved past poses to their collective survival. Her role evolves from apprentice to protector, grounding the dream team in reality even as their world fractures. As the dream layers interweave, the film's signature motif of the kick gains prominence. These synchronized jolts are the only way to awaken from the deepening layers of sleep, but timing and coordination become exponentially more complex as they descend. The tension ratchets up as the team must execute perfectly timed kicks across multiple dream levels, each echoing into the next with growing urgency. Failure means permanent entrapment in limbo, a nightmarish realm where consciousness floats untethered and memories dissolve into an endless void. The limbo realm itself, introduced subtly earlier in the story, becomes a pivotal setting as the film approaches its climax. It is here that Cobb confronts the ghost of Mal most directly, an ethereal realm outside linear time, where the rules of cause and effect unravel. Their exchanges are charged with sorrow and accusation, revealing the depth of Cobb's remorse and the weight of his self-imposed exile. The limbo sequences are visually distinct, suffused with muted tones and empty spaces that evoke both the freedom and desolation of unbounded memory. These moments peel back layers of Cobb's psyche, exposing the vulnerabilities beneath his steely exterior. A major twist emerges as Cobb realizes that Mal's projection is not simply a subconscious manifestation, but a force actively sabotaging the mission. Her interventions threaten to derail the Inception and trap the team indefinitely. This revelation forces Cobb to make agonizing choices, to confront and ultimately let go of the memories that bind him or risk losing everything. The emotional stakes here are immense, rendering the psychological conflict palpable and heart-wrenching. Simultaneously, Fisher undergoes a profound transformation, as the team implants the seed of the idea, encouraging him to dissolve his father's empire as an act of personal liberation. His subconscious defenses begin to fracture. Through a series of symbolic gestures and dream interactions, Fisher confronts his own fears and insecurities, culminating in a moment of cathartic acceptance. The dream world responds accordingly, shifting from fortress to fragile landscape, signaling the Inception's success. This transformation is layered with subtle cues, a name whispered, a glance exchanged, that underscore the film's meticulous attention to psychological nuance. The crescendo builds as the dreamers synchronize their kicks across the cascading levels of sleep. Time accelerates, overlapping layers collapse, and the film's signature tension tightens to a razor's edge. Arthur's precise timing in the city-level shootout triggers the first kick, sending shockwaves upward. In the Snow Fortress, Eames's impromptu improvisation averts disaster, while Ariadne's quick thinking steadies the dreamscape. Cobb, racing against both internal demons and external threats, orchestrates his final moves within limbo, confronting Mal's ghost and severing the emotional chains that have held him captive. The film's resolution is as enigmatic as its journey is intricate. Cobb returns to waking life, reuniting with his children in a moment suffused with warmth and tenderness. Yet the final shot lingers on his spinning top, his personal totem designed to distinguish dream from reality, wobbling on the table but refusing to definitively fall. This ambiguity reverberates beyond the frame, inviting viewers into a space of open-ended interpretation. Is Cobb awake, or does he remain trapped in a dream? The film resists closure, favoring the complexity of uncertainty over tidy resolution. Throughout these closing sequences, the film masterfully balances spectacle with introspection. The visual effects continue to dazzle, cities bending, snow cascading, dreams collapsing, yet they serve the story's emotional core rather than overshadow it. The editing is taut, weaving together multiple threads with rhythmic precision that mirrors the pulsating heartbeat of the narrative itself. Sound design punctuates each transition with cues that signal shifts in reality, guiding viewers through the intricate maze. Ultimately, the second half deepens the film's exploration of its central themes. The malleability of memory, the burden of grief, and the search for redemption through reconciliation with the past. Cobb's journey becomes a universal metaphor for the human condition, our endless quest to make sense of loss, to root ourselves in reality amid the shifting sands of experience, and to find hope in the fragile flickers of connection. This intricate unfolding, rich with twists, emotional resonance, and philosophical inquiry, leaves a lasting impression. It challenges us to question what we accept as real, to consider the power of ideas to shape lives, and to embrace the mysteries that linger in the spaces between waking and dreaming. It is a cinematic experience that invites repeated engagement, each viewing peeling back new layers and offering fresh insights, a true testament to storytelling's enduring power. The film's tapestry is woven with characters who are as complex and layered as the dreams they navigate, each carrying a personal burden that colors their actions and motivations with profound emotional depth. At the center stands Dom Cobb, whose journey is both outward and deeply internal, a man haunted by loss, driven by hope, and trapped in the delicate space between memory and reality. Cobb is not merely a skilled extractor. He is a figure burdened by grief, guilt, and the yearning for redemption. His every choice is shaded by the spectral presence of Mal, his late wife, whose memory flickers through the narrative like a ghostly refrain. Cobb's character is a study in contradictions. He is a consummate professional, meticulous and methodical in his approach to dream extraction, yet vulnerable and fractured beneath his composed exterior. His emotional landscape is mapped by his guilt over Mal's death, a wound that manifests as both a haunting presence in the dream world and a psychological barrier to his own peace. This duality drives much of the film's tension, as Cobb oscillates between control and chaos, reality and illusion. His character invites empathy not only because of his loss, but because of his relentless pursuit to reclaim a sense of self and belonging. Mal, though appearing primarily as a projection within Cobb's dreams, is no mere figment. She embodies Cobb's deepest fears and regrets. Her character is layered with ambiguity. At at once a loving partner and a disruptive force, a symbol of lost love and destructive obsession. Mal's appearances are charged with emotional intensity, reflecting both the tenderness of their past relationship and the corrosive power of unresolved guilt. Her haunting presence challenges Cobb's grip on reality, forcing him to confront the blurred boundaries between memory and fantasy. Mal is a manifestation of the past that refuses to be buried, a reminder that the mind can imprison as much as it can heal. Arthur, Cobb's steadfast partner, provides a grounding presence amid the swirling chaos. He is the pragmatic counterbalance to Cobb's emotional turbulence, precise, rational, and deeply loyal. Arthur's role extends beyond tactical expertise. He serves as a moral compass and a stabilizing force within the team. His interactions with Cobb reveal a deep friendship tempered by shared experience and trust. Arthur embodies the virtues of discipline and clarity, guiding the team through the shifting dream layers with calm determination. His character resonates as a testament to the importance of steadfastness and partnership in the face of uncertainty. Ariadne, the young architect who designs the dreamscapes, is a character of transformation and discovery. Introduced as an eager apprentice, she quickly becomes the moral and intellectual center of the team. Ariadne's fresh perspective and questions challenge Cobb and others to confront their assumptions and vulnerabilities. Through her eyes, we experience the wonder and danger of the dream world, as well as the ethical dilemmas inherent in manipulating minds. Her evolution from curious learner to courageous protector underscores themes of growth, responsibility, and the quest for truth. Ariadne's character represents the bridge between innocence and experience, reason and imagination. Eames, the charismatic forger, brings a playful yet cunning energy to the ensemble. His wit and adaptability provide levity amid the tension, but beneath his swagger lies a sharp intellect and deep loyalty. Eames thrives in ambiguity, adept at shifting identities and exploiting the fluidity of the dream world. His interactions often highlight the blurred lines between reality and performance, challenging notions of authenticity and deception. Eames' character enriches the narrative by embodying the artifice inherent in both dreaming and storytelling, illustrating how identity can be both a mask and a mirror. Robert Fisher, the target of the Inception, emerges as a figure caught between paternal legacy and personal autonomy. Though initially portrayed as a distant, guarded heir, the narrative gradually reveals his vulnerabilities and inner conflicts. Fisher's subconscious defenses reflect his fears of inadequacy and the weight of expectation. His journey through the dream layers, guided by the planted idea, becomes a poignant exploration of self-determination and liberation. Fisher's character arc invites reflection on the influence of inherited narratives and the struggle to forge one's own path amid external pressures. Yusuf, the chemist who formulates the potent sedatives enabling the layered dreams, represents the scientific mind wrestling with the ethical dimensions of his craft. Though his screen time is limited, his role is crucial in grounding the fantastical elements in plausible reality. Yusuf's presence underscores the film's engagement with the interplay between science and morality, highlighting how technological advances can both empower and endanger. His character adds a layer of pragmatic expertise that complements the more emotional and philosophical dimensions of the story. Saito, the wealthy businessman who commissions the Inception, embodies themes of power, influence, and transformation. His insistence on the mission's success is driven by personal and corporate motives, yet he also undergoes a subtle evolution as the story unfolds. Saito's character challenges Cobb and the team to confront the consequences of their actions and the costs of ambition. His presence in the dream world blurs boundaries between client and participant, reflecting the film's complex negotiations of control and collaboration. Throughout the narrative, the interactions among these characters are fraught with tension, trust, and unspoken histories. Relationships are tested by the pressures of the dream layers, the fragility of shared reality, and the weight of personal demons. The film excels in portraying these dynamics with emotional nuance, avoiding archetypal simplifications, and instead presenting characters who are conflicted, flawed, and deeply human. The symbolism embedded in each character enriches their narrative function. Cobb's spinning top, a totem used to discern dream from reality, serves as a metaphor for his precarious grasp on truth and identity. Mal's recurring presence symbolizes the destructive power of unresolved guilt and memories hold. Ariadne's architectural role reflects themes of creation, control, and the ethical responsibilities of shaping realities. Eames' shape-shifting points to the fluidity of self and the performative nature of identity. Fisher's struggle embodies the tension between destiny and free will. The characters' arcs are intricately tied to the film's broader thematic concerns, creating a tapestry where personal stories illuminate universal questions about consciousness, loss, and redemption. Each figure navigates their own psychological terrain, mirroring the film's layered dreamscapes and inviting viewers to engage in a multifaceted exploration of the mind's complexities. In essence, the film's characters are more than participants in a high-concept heist. They are embodiments of human yearning and vulnerability, each carrying the weight of their past and the possibility of transformation. Their journeys intertwine to create a narrative that is at once intellectually stimulating and emotionally resonant, a story that invites us to reflect on the nature of reality, the power of memory, and the indelible imprint of love and loss. The making of this film, woven as intricately as its dream layers, was filled with moments of serendipity, challenge, and creative magic that have since become whispered lore among cast and crew. These strange and fascinating behind-the-scenes stories don't just offer trivia, they reveal the alchemy behind crafting a world where reality bends and imagination breathes. Long before the cameras rolled, director Christopher Nolan was fixated on grounding the film's surreal dreamscapes in physical reality. One of the strangest and most ambitious feats was the construction of the rotating hallway set used in the fight sequence between Arthur and the projections of Fisher's subconscious. This corridor was not a digital effect but a practical set, a 100-foot-long, 360-degree rotating hallway built on a massive gimbal. Actors had to rehearse extensively to perform fight choreography inside this moving chamber, which required both physical agility and impeccable timing. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who played Arthur, spent weeks training in gymnastics and wire work to master the disorienting movements. On set, he recounted the bizarre sensation of fighting on walls and ceilings as the corridor spun, describing it as like being inside a surreal kaleidoscope. The set's mechanical complexity caused frequent malfunctions, forcing the crew to improvise repairs mid-shoot and sometimes delay filming by hours, but the resulting scene became one of the film's most iconic sequences, a perfect blend of practical ingenuity and narrative symbolism. Another unusual occurrence involved the infamous zero-gravity hotel corridor sequence, which required a combination of wire work and innovative camera techniques. Nolan was adamant about capturing the disorienting effects of weightlessness without relying solely on CGI. To achieve this, the production team suspended actors on rigs and rotated the entire set, creating an effect where gravity seemed to shift direction. This demanding setup led to unforeseen moments on set. During one take, a crew member accidentally released a prop prematurely, which floated slowly through the frame like a ghostly echo. The actor caught it midair, saving the shot and turning an accident into an impromptu bit of magic. The unpredictability of such practical effects added to the film's visceral authenticity and kept the actors deeply immersed in their roles. The music, composed by Hans Zimmer, carries its own story of creative audacity. Zimmer's score famously incorporates the slowed-down version of Edith Piaf's Non, Je ne regrette rien, a nod to the film's themes of time dilation within dreams. What many don't know is that Zimmer originally conceived the main theme while aboard a ferry crossing the English Channel. Inspired by the rhythmic waves and the feeling of suspended time on the water, he crafted the pulsating, haunting melody that would become the film's auditory heartbeat. Zimmer's collaboration with Nolan was deeply symbiotic. The director allowed the composer to experiment with slowed and stretched soundscapes, mirroring the film's narrative elasticity. The iconic bass notes that reverberate through the film were created using a combination of electric cello and a massive synthesizer, tuned to resonate at the frequency of a human heartbeat, a subtle but powerful choice that grounds the film's surreal moments in visceral human experience. Casting also involved peculiar twists of fate. Leonardo DiCaprio, initially hesitant to take on the emotionally heavy role of Cobb, was convinced by Nolan's vision and the script's intricate layering. Yet during the early stages of rehearsals, DiCaprio experienced vivid dreams inspired by the script itself, dreams where he was simultaneously the dreamer and the dreamed. These nocturnal experiences deepened his connection to the character and informed his nuanced performance. Meanwhile, Marion, who portrayed Mal, immersed herself in psychological research about grief and projection, reportedly spending time with individuals who had lost loved ones and struggled with intrusive memories. Her preparation lent an eerie authenticity to Mal's spectral presence, blurring the line between acting and lived experience. An oddity that became a running joke among the crew was the repeated malfunction of the film's totem, the spinning top. The prop was constructed with great care, designed to spin indefinitely to symbolize Cobb's uncertain reality. However, on set, the top frequently toppled prematurely during takes, frustrating both actors and directors. After several attempts, Nolan decided to embrace the imperfection, allowing the top's ambiguous spin in the final cut to become a deliberate narrative device rather than a flaw. This small act of flexibility underscores the film's larger embrace of uncertainty and ambiguity. Location shoots brought their own share of surprises. The snow fortress scenes were filmed in the Canadian Rockies during an unexpectedly warm winter, forcing the production team to truck in artificial snow and carefully preserve the illusion of a frozen dream world. Conversely, the initial city scenes were shot in downtown Los Angeles, but were digitally altered to resemble a folding cityscape. This blend of real and digital environments reflects the film's thematic tension between tangible reality and constructed illusion. One of the more bizarre behind-the-scenes tales involves the involvement of the film's architect of dreams, Ariadne, played by Ellen Page. To prepare for her role, Page studied architectural theory and even collaborated with real architects to understand the principles of spatial design. She reportedly experimented with virtual reality programs to build her own dreamscapes, an immersive preparation that extended beyond traditional acting methods. This dedication not only enriched her performance, but also contributed to the film's realistic depiction of dream construction. The film's complex narrative structure was matched by a meticulous editing process. Editor Lee Smith described the challenge of weaving multiple dream layers together while maintaining narrative clarity. The editing team used color coding and symbolic motifs to help viewers track the transitions between reality and dreams. They also carefully modulated pacing to reflect the elasticity of time in different layers, slower cuts in deeper dreams, rapid sequences in waking moments. This editorial choreography was vital in preserving the film's balance between intellectual challenge and emotional engagement. Visual effects, though sparingly used compared to contemporary blockbusters, were groundbreaking in their integration with practical effects. The folding city sequence involved a mix of miniature models, CGI, and real footage seamlessly blended to create an impossible but convincing urban landscape. The production also employed innovative motion capture techniques for subtle facial expressions in dream projections, enhancing emotional resonance while maintaining a surreal edge. Among the many fascinating tidbits, it is worth noting the film's attention to linguistic detail. The characters often use layered language cues to differentiate between dream levels, and the script includes carefully constructed phrases that echo across scenes, reinforcing themes of recursion and reflection. Nolan worked with linguists to craft dialogue that subtly shifts meaning depending on context, adding another layer of depth to the narrative. Even the casting choices carried symbolic weight. Tom Hardy's character, Eames, was conceived as a shapeshifter, reflecting themes of identity fluidity and deception. Hardy brought a playful yet enigmatic energy to the role, often improvising lines and gestures that enriched the character's complexity. His on-set rapport with DiCaprio contributed to a dynamic chemistry that anchors the team's interactions. The film's release itself was a curious event. Premiering amid a crowded summer blockbuster season, it defied expectations by drawing audiences who craved cerebral thrills over spectacle alone. Its marketing leaned into mystery rather than exposition, teasing the central premise without revealing plot twists, which fueled word of mouth and prolonged engagement. The film sparked countless debates and analyses, becoming a cultural touchstone for discussions about dreams, consciousness, and the nature of reality. Years after its debut, the film continues to inspire fan theories, academic papers, and artistic homages. Its blend of high-concept storytelling with grounded emotion remains a touchstone for filmmakers and viewers alike. From the practical ingenuity of its rotating hallway to the haunting score that echoes through dreams, the film's creation story is as layered and compelling as the narrative it unfolds, a testament to the power of cinema to blur boundaries and invite endless exploration. These strangest facts and behind-the-scenes tales remind us that great art is born not only from vision, but from persistence, collaboration, and the willingness to embrace imperfection and mystery. The film's dream world was not simply conjured from a script, but crafted through sweat, innovation, and serendipitous moments that transcend the screen, inviting us all to dream a little deeper. The journey to bring this labyrinthine tale to life was as intricate and layered as the dreamscapes it depicts, a testament to visionary filmmaking, relentless innovation, and a cast and crew whose dedication transformed cinematic ambition into tangible reality. The production process was a delicate dance of art and engineering, where practical ingenuity and narrative complexity intertwine to create a film that remains a masterclass in immersive storytelling. Director Christopher Nolan's vision set the tone from the outset, a commitment to grounding the film's surreal elements in physical reality wherever possible. This philosophy drove many of the production's most ambitious technical feats. Take, for example, the now legendary rotating hallway set, constructed specifically to film the zero-gravity fight scene. Built on a massive gimbal, this 100-foot-long corridor could rotate a full 360 degrees, allowing actors to perform fight choreography that defied gravity without relying on green screens or CGI. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, tasked with mastering this complex choreography, underwent rigorous physical training, blending gymnastics with wire work to navigate the spinning set with precision. The process was physically grueling. The actor described the experience as disorienting yet exhilarating, a challenge that pushed the boundaries of traditional stunt work. The crew faced frequent mechanical issues. The gimbal occasionally malfunctioned, causing delays and requiring inventive on-the-spot repairs. Yet this relentless pursuit of practical effects paid off, delivering a visceral authenticity that captivated audiences and became an iconic moment in cinema history. Complementing this was the film's groundbreaking approach to visual effects, which, though used sparingly, were employed with surgical precision to enhance rather than overshadow. The folding cityscape sequence, where Paris bends and folds upon itself, combined miniature models, digital compositing, and real footage. Nolan's insistence on blending practical and digital effects resulted in a scene that feels tactile and believable, immersing viewers in a world where the rules of physics are playfully subverted. The visual effects team, led by Leilani Rountree, collaborated closely with the cinematography and production design departments to ensure seamless integration, maintaining the film's grounded aesthetic even in its most fantastical moments. Music played a pivotal role in shaping the film's atmosphere, with Hans Zimmer's score weaving through the narrative like an emotional undercurrent. Interestingly, Zimmer conceived much of the iconic theme aboard a ferry crossing the English Channel, inspired by the rhythmic undulations of the water and the sensation of suspended time. The composition blends traditional orchestration with electronic elements, creating a haunting soundscape that mirrors the film's tension between reality and dream. Zimmer's innovative use of slowed-down versions of Edith Piaf's Non, Je ne regrette rien was not merely a stylistic choice but a thematic echo, symbolizing the dilation of time experienced within the dream worlds. The score's deep bass notes were crafted by tuning electric cellos and synthesizers to mimic the frequency of a heartbeat, grounding the ethereal narrative in visceral human experience. Casting decisions brought their own unique stories. Leonardo DiCaprio's involvement was initially uncertain. He was drawn to the project's emotional depth and philosophical questions, but found the script's complexity daunting. His commitment to embodying Cobb extended beyond the screen. DiCaprio reportedly experienced vivid dreams inspired by the script, blurring his own subconscious with that of his character, S. Marion, portraying Mal, immersed herself in psychological research on grief and projection, spending time with individuals grappling with intrusive memories to authentically convey her character's haunting presence. Their performances became touchstones of emotional authenticity amid the film's cerebral framework. The production schedule was equally demanding. Many scenes were filmed on location in challenging environments. The snow fortress sequences were shot in the Canadian Rockies during a particularly warm winter, necessitating the use of artificial snow and meticulous environmental control to maintain the illusion of a frozen dreamscape. Conversely, urban sequences were captured in downtown Los Angeles, digitally transformed to create the film's signature bending cityscapes. The juxtaposition of real locations with digital augmentation exemplifies the film's thematic interplay between tangible reality and constructed illusion. Behind the scenes, the crew fostered a spirit of collaboration and innovation. Regular dream workshops brought together departments to brainstorm ways to physically manifest the film's abstract concepts. These sessions yielded inventive solutions, from rigging rotating sets to developing custom camera rigs capable of capturing gravity-defying shots. Production designer Marco Liang's meticulous attention to detail extended to sourcing vintage props and creating intricate miniatures that enriched the dream world's authenticity. His team faced challenges stabilizing sets built on moving platforms, requiring custom engineering to ensure safety without compromising visual impact. The editing process was a complex endeavor, tasked with weaving together multiple narrative threads across dream layers while preserving clarity. Editor Lee Smith worked closely with Nolan, employing color coding and symbolic motifs to assist audiences in navigating the shifting realities. The pacing was carefully modulated to reflect the elasticity of time, with longer, contemplative shots in deeper dream levels and brisk cuts during moments of urgency. Sound designer Nadine Kim integrated ambient noises with musical cues to enhance transitions, creating an immersive auditory experience that guided viewers through the narrative's labyrinth. Among the lighter anecdotes was the repeated malfunction of the spinning top, the film's totem representing Cobb's grip on reality. Despite careful construction, the prop frequently toppled prematurely during takes, frustrating actors and crew. Nolan eventually embraced this imperfection, allowing the top's ambiguous spin in the final cut to reinforce the film's central theme of uncertainty. Marketing strategies embraced the film's enigmatic aura, releasing teasers that hinted at the layered narrative without revealing key plot points. An innovative augmented reality campaign invited audiences to explore virtual dreamscapes and decode hidden messages, deepening engagement and mirroring the film's invitation to active interpretation. Years after release, the film's influence endures. It has inspired scholarly discourse on narrative structure, dream theory, and the philosophy of perception, as well as countless fan theories dissecting its ambiguous ending. Its blend of technical innovation, emotional depth, and intellectual rigor set a new standard for blockbuster cinema, demonstrating that mass appeal need not preclude thematic complexity. In reflecting on the production's journey, from the construction of spinning corridors to the crafting of haunting scores and the meticulous layering of effects, one sees a microcosm of the film's own themes. The interplay of control and chaos, the weaving of reality and imagination, and the delicate balance required to navigate complex worlds, whether external or internal. The film's creation story is a testament to the collaborative spirit of filmmaking, where vision, craft, and chance converge to produce something both mesmerizing and profound, an enduring dream made tangible on the silver screen. The making of the film was itself a journey through a labyrinth, not unlike the dreams that shape its narrative. Behind the polished frames and carefully choreographed sequences lay a set alive with unexpected moments, bursts of laughter amid tension, and the relentless pursuit of an ambitious vision. The cast and crew's camaraderie, perseverance, and ingenuity transformed a complex script into a cinematic marvel, their stories, both surprising and poignant, etched into the film's very essence. From the outset, the production faced the daunting task of grounding an extraordinary concept in tangible reality. One of the most talked-about anecdotes revolves around the rotating hallway set, a mechanical marvel designed to simulate zero-gravity combat. The construction required months of planning and engineering. A massive gimbal capable of rotating a 100-foot-long corridor was built, with sets and lighting rigs carefully affixed to its frame. On the first day of shooting, Joseph Gordon-Levitt stepped onto the rotating set and immediately recognized the physical challenge ahead. He dedicated weeks to rigorous training, combining gymnastics and wire work to master the choreography demanded by this dizzying environment. Yet even with preparation, filming on the rotating set was fraught with difficulties. The machinery sometimes faltered mid-take, halting production and testing the crew's patience. On one occasion, a sudden jolt caused a lighting rig to swing dangerously, prompting a tense evacuation and an impromptu safety overhaul. Despite these hurdles, the cast maintained a lighthearted spirit. Gordon-Levitt joked about fighting gravity and dizziness at once, and the crew embraced a culture of resilience and humor, sharing stories of near misses and ingenious fixes. These moments fostered a strong sense of community, turning challenges into shared triumphs. Another iconic sequence, the city folding upon itself, required seamless collaboration between practical and digital effects teams. The production combined miniatures, on-location shooting, and CGI to create the breathtaking illusion. During filming, the digital effects crew often worked around the clock, responding to director Christopher Nolan's meticulous demands for realism and coherence. An unusual behind-the-scenes moment occurred when a stray pigeon accidentally landed on one of the miniature city models during a shoot, leading to a few reshoots, but also sparking jokes about the dream pigeon becoming an unexpected extra. The film's approach to sound design was equally innovative. Hans Zimmer's score, recorded with an orchestra alongside experimental electronic instruments, was shaped in close dialogue with the editing process. The composer often attended editing sessions, adjusting tempo and tone in response to visual pacing. The use of Edith Piaf's Non, Je ne regrette rien slowed down to match the film's dream time became a signature element, but its integration involved trial and error to achieve the perfect balance between diegetic music and score. Zimmer's team experimented with playing the piece backwards, stretched, and layered with synthetic sounds to evoke the disorientation of layered dreaming. Casting brought its own set of intriguing dynamics. Leonardo DiCaprio's immersion into the role led him to keep a personal journal throughout filming, reflecting on Cobb's psychological journey and his own responses. This journal became a resource for the actor, deepening his portrayal. Marion, portraying Mal, developed a close working relationship with Nolan, exploring psychological theories of grief and hallucination that informed her performance. Their discussions occasionally spilled into the set, influencing scenes with nuanced emotional intensity. The cast and crew's interactions often brought warmth amid the intense workload. Regular dream lunches, informal gatherings where the team shared meals and discussed progress, became a cherished tradition. Director Nolan was known for his thoughtful engagement with every department, attending these gatherings to listen and exchange ideas. Anecdotes abound of actors rehearsing lines backstage, crew members sharing insights on set design, and spontaneous storytelling that forged bonds beyond professional collaboration. Filming in challenging locations also presented unexpected hurdles. The snow fortress sequences, shot in the Canadian Rockies, were disrupted by unseasonably warm weather, forcing the team to truck in artificial snow and work with special effects artists to maintain consistency. The cold and altitude tested the cast and crew's endurance, leading to shared moments of solidarity, hot drinks passed around, improvised shelter from blizzards, and mutual encouragement. These experiences infused the film with a palpable sense of authenticity, as actors inhabited environments that mirrored their characters' isolation and struggle. Technical challenges extended to the film's complex editing process. Editor Lee Smith described the intricacies of weaving together multiple timelines and dream layers, requiring innovative visual cues and rhythmic pacing to maintain clarity. The team developed a system of color palettes and sound motifs that subtly signaled shifts between realities, aiding audience comprehension. Collaborative sessions between editors, sound designers, and composers became crucibles of creativity, where narrative flow and emotional resonance were refined in concert. A lighter behind-the-scenes story involves the film's totem, the spinning top. Designed to symbolize Cobb's tenuous hold on reality, the prop proved notoriously difficult to master. On set, the top frequently toppled prematurely during takes, frustrating actors and crew. Nolan eventually decided to embrace this unpredictability, allowing the top's ambiguous spin to reinforce the film's themes of uncertainty and perception. This small imperfection became a celebrated quirk, symbolizing the film's embrace of complexity and ambiguity. The making of the film was also marked by a commitment to practical effects over reliance on CGI. For instance, the zero-gravity hotel fight was achieved through a combination of wire work and rotating sets, while many cityscape distortions were accomplished with physical miniatures enhanced by digital effects. This approach required intense coordination across departments and a willingness to experiment, reflecting Nolan's belief in the power of tangible reality to anchor fantastical narratives. The production's ethos extended beyond technical innovation to encompass cultural sensitivity and respect. The film's incorporation of global settings and diverse characters was approached thoughtfully, with consultants and cultural experts engaged to ensure authenticity and nuance. This commitment enriched the narrative's texture and broadened its resonance. As filming progressed, the cast and crew developed rituals to manage the emotional intensity of the material. Mindfulness sessions, late-night conversations, and moments of quiet reflection helped sustain well-being amid the film's demanding schedule. These practices fostered an environment where creativity could flourish alongside care. Post-production was a crucible of meticulous craftsmanship. Sound designer Nadine Kim layered ambient noises, dialogue, and musical cues to create immersive soundscapes that guide viewers through the film's shifting realities. Colorist Joe Smith painstakingly balanced hues to differentiate dream levels while preserving visual cohesion. Visual effects supervisor Leilani Rountree coordinated the seamless integration of practical and digital effects, maintaining the film's grounded aesthetic. Marketing the film presented its own challenges and opportunities. The campaign embraced mystery, releasing teasers that hinted at the narrative's complexity without revealing spoilers. Interactive experiences, including augmented reality apps that allowed fans to explore dreamscapes, deepened engagement and anticipation. This innovative approach mirrored the film's themes of exploration and layered realities. Years after release, the film's behind-the-scenes stories continue to inspire filmmakers and fans alike. Documentaries, interviews, and retrospectives celebrate the ingenuity and passion that brought the story to life. The production's legacy lies not only in its technical achievements, but in the collaborative spirit and creative daring that transformed a complex vision into an enduring cinematic experience. These behind-the-scenes insights reveal the heart of the film's creation, a tapestry woven from innovation, resilience, and human connection. The cast and crew's dedication, their moments of levity and perseverance amid challenges, and their shared commitment to storytelling, crafted a work that invites audiences into a dreamlike world that feels both fantastical and deeply real. It is a testament to the power of collective imagination and the art of filmmaking as a journey into the unknown, where every obstacle becomes an opportunity and every moment a chance to dream anew. The film pulses with ideas that ripple beneath its thrilling surface, a narrative dense with themes that explore the malleable nature of reality, the labyrinth of memory, and the eternal human quest for redemption. Each scene, each symbol, functions as a node in a sprawling meditation on consciousness and identity, inviting viewers to journey beyond spectacle and into the profound questions that animate the human mind. At the heart of the film lies the theme of reality's fragility, the notion that what we perceive as concrete and stable may in fact be a delicate construct, shaped by memory, emotion, and desire. The story's dream-sharing technology serves as a powerful metaphor for this instability. By entering and manipulating the subconscious, characters blur the boundaries between waking life and dream, forcing a reconsideration of what constitutes truth. This theme resonates throughout the narrative, challenging both characters and viewers to question their assumptions about the world around them. The film becomes a philosophical inquiry into perception's limits and the power of the mind to both create and deceive. Memory in its unreliability form another central thread. Cobb's haunted past and the recurring presence of Mal symbolize the persistence of memory as both anchor and shackle. Memories are depicted not as static records, but as living, mutable forces capable of shaping present experience and distorting reality. Mal's projections are manifestations of Cobb's unresolved guilt and longing, embodying the tension between remembrance and letting go. This portrayal aligns with psychological theories of trauma, where memories can trap individuals in cycles of pain and denial. The film uses this dynamic to explore the possibility of healing through confrontation and acceptance. The theme of identity is intricately woven through the narrative's layers. Characters grapple with fragmented selves, shifting roles, and the influence of internal and external narratives. The fluidity of identity is symbolized by Eames, the forger who embodies transformation and deception, and by the dream architects who construct realities. The film suggests that identity is not a fixed essence but a performance, shaped by memory, choice, and circumstance. This fluidity challenges traditional notions of the self, inviting reflection on the multiplicity and complexity inherent in human experience. Redemption and the quest for closure are deeply embedded in Cobb's journey. His longing to reunite with his children and his struggle to overcome guilt drive the emotional core of the film. This quest transcends the external mission, becoming a metaphor for the human need to reconcile past mistakes and find peace. The limbo sequences, where time dilates and memories collide, represent the psychological spaces where healing must occur. The narrative suggests that redemption requires not only external action, but profound internal reckoning. The film's intricate architecture of dreams serves as a rich symbolic landscape. Dream levels function as metaphors for layers of consciousness, with each descending layer representing deeper states of mind and emotional complexity. The use of nested dreams highlights recursion and infinity, mirroring philosophical ideas about self-reflection and the infinite regress of consciousness. This structure invites viewers to engage with the narrative not just linearly, but as a multidimensional puzzle. The totem, the spinning top, emerges as a potent symbol of the boundary between reality and illusion. Its ambiguous spin in the film's final moments encapsulates the central tension. The impossibility of absolute certainty about one's own reality. The totem's dual role as a practical tool and metaphor underscores themes of doubt, trust, and the elusive nature of truth. It reflects the human condition's inherent uncertainty, where perception is always mediated and provisional. Light and shadow are employed throughout the film to reinforce thematic contrasts. Scenes are often framed with stark chiaroscuro, where characters emerge from darkness into light or are obscured by shadow, visually echoing their psychological states. This interplay symbolizes knowledge and ignorance, presence and absence, reality and dream. The film's use of reflections and fractured images furthers this symbolism, suggesting multiplicity and the elusive nature of self-knowledge. Time dilation, both narrative and experiential, is a pervasive theme. The elastic nature of time within dreams challenges linear conceptions, creating a disorienting yet poetic rhythm. This motif resonates with philosophical and scientific inquiries into time's nature, inviting contemplation of subjective experience and memory's influence on temporality. The film's pacing and editing mirror this elasticity, shaping viewer engagement and emotional resonance. Loss and grief permeate the narrative, grounding its high-concept ideas in human emotion. Cobb's haunted memories and Mal's spectral presence embody the enduring impact of loss and the struggle to reconcile with absence. The film's exploration of these themes elevates it from a cerebral thriller to a profound emotional journey, connecting intellectual inquiry with universal human experience. Power and control emerge through the character's manipulation of dream worlds and minds. The ethical implications of such influence are examined critically, raising questions about autonomy, consent, and the nature of reality. The film invites reflection on how narratives, personal, cultural, or technological, shape and constrain individual agency. The interweaving of these themes creates a rich tapestry that resonates on multiple levels. The narrative's complexity encourages active interpretation, inviting viewers to engage intellectually and emotionally. Symbolism is woven seamlessly into plot and character, reinforcing themes through visual motifs, dialogue, and structural choices. Characters embody and illuminate these themes. Cobb's haunted quest personifies memory's grip and the search for redemption. Ariadne's architectural role reflects creation and moral responsibility. Eames' fluid identity challenges fixed notions of self. Fisher's transformation symbolizes liberation from inherited narratives. Their journeys intertwine, forming a multifaceted exploration of consciousness and humanity. In sum, the film's themes and symbolism invite a deep engagement with questions about reality, memory, identity, and the power of the mind. Its layered narrative and rich visual language create a cinematic meditation that lingers, prompting reflection on the nature of dreaming and waking, the stories we tell ourselves, and the elusive quest for truth and peace. The film's creation was a symphony of craftsmanship and innovation, where every frame, sound, and movement was meticulously orchestrated to serve the narrative's complex architecture and emotional depth. From the earliest pre-production meetings through post-production's final touches, the filmmaking techniques employed were not mere tools, but integral components shaping the film's immersive atmosphere and profound impact. Central to the film's distinctive aesthetic is the cinematography, masterfully executed by Wally Pfister. His approach fused the precision of classical framing with experimental manipulation of light and motion, reflecting the narrative's interplay of stability and flux. Pfister favored a palette that oscillated between muted, naturalistic tones in the waking world and heightened, stylized colors within dreams. This deliberate modulation guided viewers' perception, signaling shifts between realities while enriching emotional textures. The use of practical lighting, often sourced from ambient and diegetic elements, anchored scenes in tactile realism, even amid surreal visual effects. Camera movement played a pivotal role in immersing audiences in the film's shifting planes of consciousness. The team employed a combination of Steadicam, crane, and handheld shots to reflect narrative dynamics. Smooth, fluid tracking shots conveyed moments of control and clarity, inviting viewers to glide through constructed dreamscapes alongside the characters. Conversely, handheld, jittery camera work punctuated scenes of tension and psychological disturbance, embodying disorientation and vulnerability. Innovative rigging enabled gravity-defying sequences, such as the rotating hallway fight, where the camera's perspective shifted alongside the environment, dissolving boundaries between physical and psychological space. The film's commitment to practical effects over digital substitutes was a hallmark of its production philosophy. This choice demanded elaborate engineering solutions, like the massive rotating set, and extensive rehearsals to achieve convincing performances within physically dynamic environments. Miniature models and matte paintings complemented live-action footage, especially in cityscape manipulations where buildings fold upon themselves. These effects, grounded in physicality, lent a visceral authenticity that enhanced narrative credibility and audience immersion. Editing under the skilled hand of Lee Smith was crucial in navigating the film's non-linear, multi-layered narrative. The editorial process embraced complexity without sacrificing coherence, employing rhythmic pacing and visual motifs to guide viewers through nested dream layers. Techniques such as match cuts, dissolves, and intercutting between timelines created a seamless flow that mirrored the elastic nature of time within dreams. Color grading and visual cues were integrated post-editing to reinforce distinctions between reality and dream states. Smith's collaboration with director Nolan ensured that narrative clarity and emotional resonance were balanced with intellectual challenge. Sound design and score were instrumental in shaping the film's atmosphere and emotional landscape. Hans Zimmer's composition blended orchestral grandeur with experimental electronic textures, crafting a sonic signature that echoed the film's themes of temporality and subconscious exploration. The use of slowed-down elements from Edith Piaf's Non, Je ne regrette rien was a particularly inspired choice, symbolizing the dilation of time within dreams. The score's pulsating bass and layered harmonies enveloped scenes, heightening suspense and intimacy. Sound designer Richard King layered ambient noises, dialogue, and musical motifs to create immersive soundscapes that transitioned fluidly between realities, reinforcing narrative shifts. The collaborative synergy between departments was a defining feature of the filmmaking process. Production design, led by Guy Hendricks Diaz, crafted environments that were simultaneously realistic and symbolic. From the sleek modernity of urban settings to the stark geometry of dream fortresses, each location was a psychological landscape reflecting characters' inner states. Costume design further enriched this tapestry, using color, texture, and style to denote emotional and narrative transitions. Makeup and prosthetics subtly conveyed stress, aging, and psychological wear, grounding performances in physical reality. The integration of technology and artistry extended to camera equipment and post-production tools. The cinematography team utilized state-of-the-art lenses and rigs to capture nuanced performances and complex effects. Digital intermediate processes enabled precise color manipulation and visual consistency across diverse environments. Visual effects supervisors coordinated closely with cinematographers and editors to ensure seamless blending of practical and digital elements, maintaining the film's grounded aesthetic amid fantastical sequences. On the production side, managing the complex logistics of multi-location shoots, intricate set constructions, and extensive post-production required meticulous planning and adaptive problem-solving. The rotating hallways' mechanical challenges, weather-dependent outdoor scenes, and the coordination of stunts and effects demanded a culture of innovation and teamwork. Regular cross-departmental meetings fostered communication and creativity, ensuring that technical solutions served narrative goals. The film's box office performance reflected the success of these techniques in connecting with audiences. Opening in a competitive summer season, it defied expectations by drawing both mainstream and niche viewers. The marketing campaign leveraged the film's mystery and complexity, using teasers that emphasized visual motifs and thematic intrigue without revealing plot twists. Interactive digital experiences allowed fans to engage with the film's layered concepts, enhancing anticipation and word of mouth. Critically, the film was lauded for its technical mastery and narrative ambition. Reviewers highlighted the seamless integration of practical effects with digital artistry, the evocative cinematography that captured both spectacle and intimacy, and the score's haunting resonance. Audience responses underscored the film's capacity to balance intellectual rigor with emotional engagement, creating an experience that invites repeated viewing and interpretation. In sum, the filmmaking techniques deployed were not ancillary but foundational to the film's identity and impact. Cinematography, editing, sound, and visual effects converged to craft a cinematic language that articulates the narrative's exploration of consciousness, memory, and reality's fluidity. The dedication to practical effects and collaborative artistry fostered an immersive atmosphere that resonates emotionally and intellectually. This fusion of craft and vision solidified the film's place as a landmark achievement, an enduring dreamscape captured in celluloid and pixels, inviting audiences to explore the mysteries of the mind and the stories we tell ourselves. The story of the film is inseparable from the people who brought it to life, the cast whose performances shaped its emotional core, the interviews that peeled back layers of intention and craft, and the audiences whose reactions breathed vitality into its layered narrative. Together, these voices form a chorus that enriches our understanding of a cinematic experience that transcends the screen, becoming a shared journey into memory, perception, and the fragile boundary between waking and dreaming. At the center stands Leonardo DiCaprio, whose portrayal of Dom Cobb anchors the film's emotional gravity. DiCaprio's performance is a study in restraint and intensity, capturing a man torn between professional mastery and private torment. In interviews, DiCaprio revealed how deeply he connected with Cobb's psychological complexity. He spoke of keeping a personal journal during filming, chronicling Cobb's internal struggle and his own reflections on grief and guilt. This process allowed DiCaprio to inhabit the character fully, blending raw vulnerability with steely determination. He described the physical challenges of sequences, like the rotating hallway fight, acknowledging how the demanding choreography deepened his immersion in Cobb's precarious reality. DiCaprio's commitment to authenticity resonated with audiences, grounding the film's cerebral architecture in palpable human emotion. Marion Cotillard's portrayal of Mal adds a haunting layer to the narrative, embodying the spectral presence that both threatens and humanizes Cobb. Cotillard's preparation involved extensive psychological research into trauma and projection, spending time with individuals who grappled with intrusive memories to understand her character's complexity. In conversations, she emphasized the dual nature of Mal as both love and loss, an embodiment of Cobb's guilt that simultaneously captivates and destabilizes him. Cotillard's ethereal performance, balancing menace and tenderness, became emblematic of the film's exploration of memory's power to shape reality. Audiences and critics alike lauded her for infusing the role with emotional nuance, making the intangible palpable. Joseph Gordon-Levitt's Arthur offers a counterbalance to Cobb's emotional turmoil, a figure of discipline, loyalty, and calm precision. Gordon-Levitt recounted his intense physical preparation for the film, including gymnastics and wire work necessary for the rotating hallway fight. His enthusiasm for the technical challenges translated into a performance marked by controlled energy and subtle humor. In interviews, he spoke about the collaborative atmosphere on set and the thrill of participating in a film that demanded both physical and intellectual engagement. Arthur's role as Cobb's confidant and moral anchor resonated with viewers, providing grounding amid the narrative's complexities. Ellen Page, portraying Ariadne, brought a fresh perspective as the audience's guide into the dream worlds. Her background in theater and willingness to delve into architectural theory enriched her character's authenticity. In discussions, Page highlighted her fascination with the ethical implications of dream construction and the balance between creativity and responsibility. She described working closely with the production design team to visualize Ariadne's architectural creations, emphasizing how this collaboration enhanced her understanding of the character's role as both creator and conscience. Audience reception praised Page's blend of curiosity, intelligence, and vulnerability, making Ariadne a compelling conduit for the film's deeper themes. Tom Hardy's Eames added a charismatic, playful energy to the ensemble. Hardy's improvisational approach infused the character with wit and unpredictability. In behind-the-scenes interviews, Hardy reflected on the fun of inhabiting a character who thrives on deception and transformation, exploring the fluidity of identity within the dreamscape. His rapport with DiCaprio and Gordon-Levitt was noted as a highlight of the production, contributing to dynamic on-screen chemistry. Eames's blend of levity and cunning enriched the film's tonal balance, providing moments of relief amid tension. Ken Watanabe's Sato embodied authority and strategic vision, his presence lending gravitas to the mission's stakes. Watanabe spoke in interviews about the character's complexity, navigating ambition, cultural power dynamics, and personal transformation. His portrayal underscored themes of influence and collaboration, reflecting the film's layered exploration of control and agency. Audiences appreciated Sato's role as both client and participant, blurring conventional narrative boundaries. Dilip Rao's Yusuf, the chemist, brought pragmatic expertise and a grounded sensibility. Rao discussed the importance of embodying the scientific and ethical dimensions of his role, emphasizing collaboration with the effects and stunt teams to ensure realism in sedative-induced dream states. His portrayal contributed to the film's balance between fantastical and tangible elements. The cast's collective reflections, shared in numerous interviews and behind-the-scenes features, reveal a production marked by mutual respect and creative synergy. Actors spoke of the film's intellectual demands and emotional depth, highlighting the challenge and reward of navigating a narrative that intertwines action with philosophical inquiry. The collaborative environment fostered experimentation, with actors contributing ideas and insights that shaped character development and scene execution. Audience reactions further illuminate the film's impact. Upon release, viewers were captivated by its blend of spectacle and complexity, sparking widespread discussion and debate. Fans praised the film's ambitious narrative structure and emotional resonance, with many drawn to its invitation for multiple viewings and interpretations. The ambiguous ending became a focal point of engagement, inspiring fan theories, forums, and scholarly analyses that extended the film's cultural life. Critics highlighted the cast's performances as key to grounding the film's intellectual concepts in relatable human experience. DiCaprio's nuanced portrayal was frequently singled out for its emotional depth, while Cotillard's haunting presence added layers of psychological tension. The ensemble's chemistry was noted as vital to maintaining narrative coherence amid complex plot mechanics. The film's lasting resonance is reflected in its continued presence in cultural conversations. Audience nostalgia and critical reevaluations have sustained interest, with the cast's reflections providing ongoing insight into the creative process. Documentaries and retrospectives featuring interviews have deepened appreciation for the film's artistry and the human stories behind its creation. In essence, the film's cast and their insights, coupled with audience reception, form a dialogue that enriches the cinematic experience. The actors' dedication and reflections reveal the emotional and intellectual labor underpinning their performances, while viewers' engagement affirms the film's power to provoke thought and feeling. Together, they weave a narrative of collaboration, creativity, and connection, a testament to cinema's capacity to explore the depths of the mind and heart.